Program thanks to Mr. Jim Petrecca of Jim Petrecca Productions. Welcome, Freda. Thanks for being on the program tonight.
Oh, thank you. Welcome. I'm so pleasure.
Well, I listened to that song so many times. I played your great hit on many great radio stations throughout my career, and people are still calling for that song on a regular basis. That's how popular that song will always live on forever and ever, and a big top hit that it has been for all these years. Thank you so much for that.
Wow. Well, you know what? I have to thank Holland Dozier and Holland for giving me that song. And the fact that at the time I was trying and hoping and praying that I would get a hit, and I did. So that's all. It's all good. It all worked out.
Happy to hear that. What would you like to share with us tonight about some of the places that you're touring? I believe you're touring in New Jersey, in not too far along at this point, right?
Oh yeah, I believe. I think it's in October. I don't have all the details, but it's either on my website or I'm going to be putting it on my website very, very soon, within a day or so from now.
What would you like to tell us about yourself, about your career? Some things that maybe people don't know about you.
Well, some people do know this about me, but some don't. A lot of people think that I'm just a singer who did a couple of big hit records back in the '70s, and I'm a pop R&B singer, but I'm a jazz singer really, and I've been mostly performing as a jazz artist over the last few years, and especially being that I've been able to play theatrically in theater the role of Ella Fitzgerald. I do that, or I do Ella Fitzgerald tributes in performing arts centers as well. And I've just been in the studio. I'm working on another CD, another album. It's not finished. I've got it. It's halfway done, and I've done so far. I've done 3 duets with 3 notable artists, and it was done, recorded right here in Hollywood at Capitol Records in Studio A, and with big band and strings, and I'm going to be this is another one that I'm going to be extremely proud of. I have to say, I got a chance to do a duet with the great Johnny Mathis.
Congratulations to you. We have some... Yep.
Yeah, and then Dee Dee Bridgewater, who is a wonderful jazz artist herself, and then Kenny Lattimore. He's got a name like in the R&B pop field as well.
Well, we have some great people in the studio tonight. We have Barbara Harris right here at Lover's Concerto, and
Hi,
she
Freda.
wants to say hello to you for a moment.
Oh, okay.
Hi, sweet. Hi. I'm good. How are
She just put on her
you?
headphones for a moment and get a little feedback, but that's okay for live radio, you know.
We're great fans of yours, sweetie. Always.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes. And Sandra from the Toys, and Barbara Toomer, Parrot from the Toys. We all love you.
Indeed. Indeed.
No.
I worked with her
Oh, Barbara
Barbara
Toomer
did.
says she has.
when I was singing with Joe Rivers.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
We got Charlie Thomas here, too, from the Drifters right here.
Oh, well, okay. Well, Charlie, I was a very close friend of with Faye Treadwell, and of course, I'm still very close with her daughter, Tina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She never called me once. Well, me and George was a good friend. Treadwell.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, George Treadwell.
Yeah.
I don't know if you knew this, but I go back to the 60s.
I know.
And when George was still running the office in New York.
Yeah.
And Faye was the secretary.
I remember I recall that.
Okay, well, you must be up there with me in age.
We have Charlie Ingwe here from the Soul Survivors. We have in the studio Lillian Walker Moss from the Exciters, Tony Middleton, and Tony Middleton of the Willows in here.
I wouldn't be in this trouble if it wasn't for Tony.
We could put a show together. Yeah, all of us could, if I was there too, we could all put a show together, huh?
Yeah.
Yes,
The show's being made right here.
We could bring your father right in Florida.
I need a truck this year, you know, go on the tour and do something.
So do you have any plans to come to New York City soon, Freda?
Not soon. As a matter of fact, I need to come to New York because I haven't been there in a while now.
I think the last time the last time I was there, I'm trying to think. Well, I know I did something with Michael Feinstein, and that was at, it was jazz at the Philharmonic. Lincoln Center, jazz at Lincoln Center, in that Rose Room, you know, the room with
Sure.
With the big view on the background, and we did something with a big band and Marilyn
May.
and
Yeah, it was great. It was really nice. And then I did, sometimes I worked a jazz. Remember I told you I'm singing more jazz now. I worked the Iridium. I worked there several times.
Well, when you're down in,
I'm open too.
I need to be back in New York.
yeah, you can come down here on our radio show, Jim Petrecca Production. Jim will book you on the show. You can sing some jazz right in here. We'd love that. I think that the audience would really enjoy that moment.
Yeah, oh wow. Yeah, but hey, listen, I sing my rock and roll too sometimes. And of course, I always wind up at the end of the show, I sing Band of Gold.
Yeah, we love that song.
yes.
Because people still want to hear it.
They sure do. I just played it on another radio station a few nights ago. People still call in for it all the time.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Any other last reflections about your life, your career, or anything else that you think would be of interest tonight on our show to talk about?
Well, I can just say that I've had a long career. You know, I started out, I started out when I was 17, so my career spans over 5 decades.
Wow.
And still going, so, you
Like I
know.
said, we got a room of historical moments. Right here. History is right here in the music
I
business.
know.
I'm busy. I'm trying to write my book, you know, before I forget everything.
Oh, you'll never forget it. Don't worry. It comes back. You just take notes, right?
Yeah, the memory gets a little foggy, you know, and you have to really, but then again, you know, you have to just take the time, and you have to like call people and see if they remember stuff, and they can like help you out with that as well. And I noticed that sometimes you can go into your treasure chest, let's say, go into your attic or your storage bin, wherever you store your, and start going through old pictures, and that stimulates memory as well.
Yes.
Exactly, yeah. And the thing is, do you write some of the dates down, or do you keep like a record or a journal of some of the moments or some of the...
That's the thing that I'm kind of like dreading that I never did. I never kept a diary. I never kept a journal. So I'm going to have to really do some homework, you know. I'm going to have to go back and, you know, check out, you know, go in my storage bin and even like maybe some tapes. And I kept all my cassette tapes of conversations I used to have, and I can go back and just do some research like that.
The people that may not know how the song Band of Gold became, how did you name that song, for those people that may not know?
Well, I didn't name it. The song, let me tell you this. Okay, here it is. If you get the sheet music or the record, it says music written by, you know, lyrics by Ron Dunbar and Edith Wayne. Well, guess what? Ron Dunbar did not write Band of Gold. Edith Wayne was a fictitious made-up name. Holland, Dozier, and Holland they were involved in creating that song. Lamont Dozier, Eddie, and Brian Holland. And the reason is that they were in a lawsuit, a big lawsuit with Motown, and one of the provisions was that they were not allowed to write while they were engaged in a lawsuit. So they couldn't put their names on anything they wrote. So that's the story, and that's the truth.
You have a great Facebook page of websites and everything. Like, Anybody, and you want to just give us your website or any other additional information, people can check you out.
Website is www.fredapayne.com. Just go to fredapayne.com.
Freda Payne, thanks for joining us tonight. Thank you very much for being here.
I'm on Facebook.
Look, and I'm on Instagram too. Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
There's a special page just for me. I've got two Facebook pages.
Terrific.
Legendary Freda Payne, and the other was just Freda Payne. Period.
Who was your favorite television talk show host growing up?
I have to say, oh my God, I hate to leave. They're both deceased. I would have to say Johnny Carson and also Merv Griffin. He was a sweetheart. I loved Merv, but I love Johnny Carson, but then I love Merv Griffin as well. Those were my two favorites.
Terrific. Well, thanks again for joining us tonight on the show. It's been a pleasure having you, and look forward to having you back here in New York City. When you're in town, just look us up, and we'll look you up, and we'll put it all together. You can sing some rock and roll on the radio and do some jazz with us. I think that would be rather unique, rather special. Thank you again.
Oh, I gotta say,
Before we go, I gotta throw in Jay Leno, but he came after Johnny and Merv. Jay is still around, and I may run into him. So yes, I love Jay Leno.
I got one more question for you. Who was your favorite rock and roll singer growing up?
Oh Lord, it would have to be probably Jackie Wilson.
Yeah, Jackie Wilson.
Yeah, growing up, like as a kid. Oh, but then after Jackie Wilson came Marvin Gaye.
Yes.
Yeah, see, Jackie, that was like when I was in my early teens, and then by the time I got to be in my 20s, it was Marvin Gaye.
Excellent. Thanks again, Freda Payne. We're going to play now Church Bells May Ring by the Willows, Mr. Tony Middleton, right here at WPAT Radio.
Bravo.